86 years old, supreme leader of Iran for 36 years. And now, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei sits alone. Israel has systematically eliminated his inner circle, one airstrike at a time. This is the story of how the most powerful man in the Middle East became the most isolated. For 36 years, Khamenei has ruled Iran through an inner circle of 15 to 20 trusted advisors. Revolutionary Guards commanders, clerics, politicians, all bound by unwavering loyalty. This wasn't just governance, it was survival. But in 5 days, Israel changed everything. The systematic elimination of Iran's military leadership has left Khamenei facing the greatest crisis of his reign. Hossein Salami, overall commander of the Revolutionary Guards, dead. Amir Ali Hajizadeh, chief of aerospace and Iran's ballistic missile program, dead. Mohammad Kazemi, the spy master who knew Iran's deepest secrets, dead. These weren't just military officers, they were Khamenei's most trusted confidants, men who had been by his side for decades. In intelligence circles, there's a term for this: decapitation strike. Israel didn't just target Iran's military capability, they targeted Khamenei's ability to make informed decisions. Khamenei's decision-making process was methodical: gather trusted advisors at his Tehran compound, listen to diverse viewpoints, seek additional information. It was a system built on personal relationships spanning decades. Now, when he calls for military advice, phones ring to dead numbers. The institutional knowledge that guided Iran through regional conflicts, nuclear negotiations, and internal crises has been erased in 120 hours. Into this vacuum steps Mojtaba Khamenei, the supreme leader's son. For 20 years, he's been building influence across Iran's political and security apparatus. Now, as his father's inner circle lies in ruins, Mojtaba has become the crucial intermediary between personalities, factions, and organizations. Sources describe him as increasingly central to the decision-making process, a mid-ranking cleric who might be witnessing his own succession story unfold in real time. 330,000 residents ordered to evacuate downtown Tehran, the ancient Grand Bazaar, closed for only the third time in modern history. Traffic jams stretching for miles as families flee toward the Caspian Sea. This isn't just military conflict, it's psychological warfare. When Trump tweeted, "Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran," he wasn't just warning civilians, he was announcing that the capital of the Islamic Republic was no longer safe. Israel's strikes have set Iran's nuclear program back a very, very long time, according to Netanyahu. But one facility remains untouched: Fordo, Iran's underground uranium enrichment site buried deep beneath mountains. To destroy it would require America's 30,000-pound bunker-busting bomb, a weapon Israel doesn't possess. This creates a deadly paradox. Iran still has nuclear capability, but has lost the military leadership needed to deploy it strategically. Since 1989, Khamenei has built Iran's power around the Revolutionary Guards, his personal army that answers only to him. They secured the best equipment, controlled Iran's regional strategy, and provided internal security. Now their top command structure is obliterated. While regular army chains of command run through the elected president, the guards were Khamenei's direct instrument of power. Without them, he's not just militarily weakened, he's politically vulnerable. Hassan Nasrallah of Hezbollah, dead. Bashar al-Assad of Syria, overthrown. Now Iran's top military leadership eliminated. Khamenei's axis of resistance across the Middle East isn't just weakened, it's systematically dismantled. Each loss compounds his isolation, each eliminated ally reduces Iran's regional leverage. The network that projected Iranian power from Lebanon to Yemen is collapsing inward toward Tehran. Mohammad Kazemi wasn't just a spy master, he was Iran's institutional memory of regional intelligence operations. His elimination creates an intelligence blackout at the worst possible moment. When military decisions require understanding enemy capabilities, infiltration networks, and regional dynamics, Khamenei now lacks the expertise to make informed choices. In intelligence, this is called flying blind, and it's how strategic miscalculations happen. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. Trump's tweet wasn't diplomatic messaging, it was a public ultimatum. When the US president tells 10 million people to flee their capital, he's not suggesting temporary inconvenience. He's announcing imminent escalation. Trump then rushed back from the G7, denying ceasefire talks, promising something much bigger than that. This isn't random bombing, it's surgical decapitation. Israel has demonstrated complete aerial superiority over Tehran, destroying over 120 missile launchers, eliminating F-14 fighters, and targeting command centers with precision. Each strike is calculated to degrade Iran's capability while forcing Khamenei into increasingly desperate decisions. It's a strategy designed to make Iran's leadership destroy itself. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi made a desperate plea. It takes one phone call from Washington to muzzle someone like Netanyahu. But Trump's response made clear there would be no muzzling. When diplomacy fails and military resistance crumbles, regimes face an existential choice. Khamenei has built his entire identity around resistance to Western pressure. Surrendering now would mean the end of everything he represents. As Iran's influence collapses, regional powers are recalculating. Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and other Gulf states that feared Iranian expansion now see opportunity. Israel's demonstration of military superiority reshapes Middle Eastern balance of power. The regional order that has existed since 1979, built around Iranian resistance to Western influence, is crumbling in real time. There's a moment in every regime's history when the myth of invincibility shatters. For Khamenei, that moment was Monday morning when Trump tweeted, "Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran," the capital of the Islamic Republic, evacuating on orders from the American president. 36 years of building resistance to Western power, undone by a social media post. This is what the end of an empire looks like. Not with invasion or revolution, but with isolation so complete that even survival requires foreign permission. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, 86 years old, sits alone in his Tehran compound tonight. His inner circle eliminated, his regional allies destroyed, his capital evacuating. The supreme leader who built Iran's resistance empire now faces the ultimate irony. He may survive the war, but his system of power has already been defeated. History will remember this week not for the missiles fired or buildings destroyed, but for the moment when isolation became more powerful than any weapon. What do you think? Can Khamenei survive the systematic destruction of his power structure, or are we witnessing the end of the Islamic Republic as we know it? Share your thoughts below, and if this analysis opened your eyes to how modern warfare works, subscribe for more deep dives into the stories reshaping our world.